So is it visible? Is it okay,
Yes,
Robinson Crusoe?
Yes, sir.
So please, all of you, mute your audio and video. All of you, mute your audio and video. Reshma, please respond. So I think it's visible, huh? Robinson Crusoe, his life and surprising adventures.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so he was born into the middle class family of dissenters in London in 1660. He was born in 1660. So he devoted himself to the business. In 1685, he took part in Duke of Monmouth of rebellion against James II, and 3 years later he joined the army of William of Orange during the Glorious Revolution. So who wrote the Robinson Crusoe?
Daniel Defoe.
Daniel Defoe. Daniel Defoe was born in 1660. And Queen Anne had him arrested and tried and imprisoned because of pamphlet in favor of the dissenters. Made 3 appearances in the pillory, which turned into the triumph when his friend threw him flowers. So he started the review. It is a pamphlet, famous pamphlet, Daniel Defoe. He denied his Whig ideas and worked for the government as a secret agent. When he was 60, he turned prose fiction. He died alone, 1731. So it's a famous novel, Robinson Crusoe. It's a very interesting, very important novel in English literature. And I will explain Daniel Defoe's novel structure. It is a fictional and autobiographies. Fictional autobiography, Daniel Defoe's, and series of episodes and adventures, unifying presence of single hero, lack of coherent plot, retrospective, first-person narration. The author's point of view coincides with the main characters presented through their actions. So here characters, Robinson Crusoe, the main character of the story, Zuri, a friend, servant of Crusoe. He also escapes from the Moors. And another character, Friday. It's not a name of the day, it is a character name. Friday, it is a character name. And Crusoe, father, and as the same Spaniard, one of the prisoners saved by Crusoe. It is interesting to note that he is treated with much more respect in Crusoe's mind than any of the colored people with whom Crusoe is in contact. How many characters are there? Hello? Hello?
5.
Five characters. I think is Robinson Crusoe, the main character of the story, is rebellious with youth, inexplicable need to travel. So he wants to travel, and it's a very adventurous story. Major 5 important characters of this Robinson Crusoe. First one is Zuri, a friend and servant of Crusoe, and he also escapes from the Moors. And Friday, it is a very important character in Robinson Crusoe. Important product. So Robinson Crusoe, after the Robinson Crusoe, Friday character. Friday, it is a character, not the day. Another friend, servant of Crusoe. He spends number of years on the island with the main character who saves him from the cannibalistic death. So Crusoe's father, although he appears only briefly in the beginning, he embodies the theme of the merits of Protestant middle-class living. Spaniard, one of the prisoners saved by Crusoe. It is interesting to note that he is treated with a much more respect in Crusoe's mind than any of the colored people with whom Crusoe is in contact. So this is all about the characters. Now, who wrote Daniel Defoe? He's a Daniel Defoe. He was born in middle class. So he was born in 1660. He died in 17 31. So it's a famous pamphlet. It is called The Review. It's a very famous pamphlet. Made 3 appearances in the Filary, which turned into the Triumph. I think, wait. One of the students asking which lesson. It is a Daniel Defoe, Robinson Crusoe. Am I clear? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So even though you have some more characters also there, I'll show you characters, and you can also. These are the characters. Robinson Crusoe is a merchant, adventurer, and a landowner, and spends who spends 20 years shipwrecked on island. So Friday is Robinson Crusoe's native companion and servant on the island. So he's I told you, protagonist. Robinson Crusoe's friend urges him to join the voyage to London, thereby setting Crusoe upon his life of adventure. Robinson Crusoe's wife marries Crusoe after he returned from Brazil. So she bears 3 children. The English captain helps Robinson Crusoe return from Ireland to England after Crusoe helps him overthrow a mutiny on his ship. So Friday's father is rescued from the group of cannibals by Friday and Robinson Crusoe. The Moor, whose name is Ismail, is a man whom Robinson Crusoe tricks into helping supply a longboat, whom Crusoe then pushes into the water as he and Jury escape from slavery. Mr. Crusoe is Robinson Crusoe's father, who warns him against wandering. Mrs. Crusoe. So Mr. Crusoe, Robinson Crusoe's father. Mrs. Crusoe, Robinson mother, who urges him to listen to his father and stay at home. The pirate means, what is the meaning of the pirate? Pirates of the
Thief.
Thieves. So Pirates of the Caribbean, the movie, also very famous movie. Jack Sparrow who acted in that movie. The Pirates of the Caribbean. Samudra Dongal antaru Telugulo. The pirate is a Marcan sea captain who takes Robinson Crusoe into slavery. The Portuguese captain rescue Robinson Crusoe and Jury after 2 escape from slavery in Marco. The Spaniard is a prisoner rescued from the natives by Robinson Crusoe. Together they make plan to escape from the island. So Wells, Robinson Crusoe's neighbor in Brazil. And this is the widow. Widow is the ship captain. She manages Robinson Crusoe money when he travels and even after he is stranded on his island. Zuri is a young slave boy who helps Robinson Crusoe escapes captivity in Africa. So these are all characters. Important character Robinson Crusoe and Friday and Zuri. These are the Spaniard or important character of Robinson Crusoe. And Robinson Crusoe, it's an adventurous story, and this is not discuss very brief about it has 20 chapters. So in this 20 chapter, I don't go in detail because we have very limited time. In this Robinson Crusoe, so his father who migrated from Germany, now they live in York, York. So Crusoe has 2 older brothers, and first ones he died in the soldier he killed in the battle, and the second lost contact with the family. Later, so he sees voyage were extremely rough. Crusoe suffers from sickness extremely. He he was to repent his disobedience, parents, and return to York. His service. So Crusoe, the main intention, he wants to go voyage. He likes voyage, and his father asked him, so you stay at home, should not go outside. But this is the man, his desire to travel over shadows is a parent's wish. At the age of 19, he board ship in Hull, bound for London. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So,
sir.
okay. Robinson Crusoe, how many brothers he has?
3 brothers.
Robinson Crusoe, two brothers.
Two-
He has
two brothers.
two older brothers, and his father migrated from Germany. And what is a passion? So his desire to travel, his main desire is travel to overshadow his parent wishes. Overshadow means he doesn't like his parent wish, but his main desire to travel. He, at the age of 19, he board ship a hull bound for London. So he likes traveling on ship or boat, voyage. Samudra prayanam ante చాలా ఇష్టం. The sea on his voyage were extremely rough. So because he later from the second storm sink the ship near the fort of Yarmouth. So the fort of Yarmouth is a ship almost sink. Then he luckily escaped from that place, and later he proceed to London. So again he travels to the London. Now they live in York. He travels to the London. So next chapter, and chapter wise, I'll give you brief introduction only. I don't read each and every line. And later, Robinson Crusoe, so he started his voyage and set out from London on a trip to Africa. So he wants to travel to Africa by ship. So later, he likes his company. The famous person is a close friend, Zuri. We meets later. Second voyage Africa is catastrophic. Second voyage also catastrophic. The ship is raided by the pirates of Marcon, the port of Sally. So this is the place. So when he travels to Africa, and his ship was raided by pirates, the pirates of the Moroccan port of Sally. The crew is sold in slavery, and all the crew members, they are sold in slavery, means they become slaves to the African people. So his main intention, Robinson Crusoe, he wants to enjoy his traveling, he wants to go abroad, he wants to go by ship. But this is the person who doesn't listen to his father. He travels to Africa by the ship. The ship was attacked. The ship attacked by the pirates, and all the crew members they treat them as slaves. And escape attempts to he change Crusoe watch his house, and later Crusoe he is a slave. There he meet Zuri, Xury, Zuri. So the person who is a African man, his name is Ismail, and a boy named Zuri. So this is all people, crew members of the ship. So they treat them as slaves. And after this is the Crusoe takes chance to escape with the support of the Zuri, and Robinson Crusoe who escape. Okay, he becomes owner of the plantation in Brazil. So later he escapes from the Africa, and with the support of Zuri, and Zuri also he treats him as his slave, and Zuri and Robinson Crusoe, they reach Brazil. In that Brazil, he became the owner of a plantation in Brazil and sets out on voyage to Africa to get more slaves. During his journey, he is shipwrecked on desert island where he will remain for 28 years. So because of the shipwrecked, and he has to stay 28 years in the deserted island. Because of that, the catastrophic situation happens to him, Robinson Crusoe. When he returns to England, he discovers that his plantation in Brazil has made him very rich. So the story, complete story, if you see the Robinson Crusoe, so without listening to his father's ideas and his opinions, and he wants to enjoy traveling, that is the main intention. With the support of Jury, so he escapes from the Africa, and later he comes to Brazil, and he spends almost 4 years in Brazil, and he started plantation in Brazil, set out voyage in Africa to get more slaves. Then he wants to go to Africa. There, when he travels to the England, and by ship, and ship is broken and ship is wrecked. Because of that, ship is wrecked, and he comes to the island. So very near to the island, there is a broken ship and wrecked ship is there. He takes the food and ammunition and money and books and the things he has taken from the ship. There he stay in the island almost 28 years. He struggled a lot to survive an island, and he established so many things. And so with the support of so he has a dog, and even the ship is broken ship, he has a dog. But the dog also, he is taking care of the dog and animals, and he started the crop in this small island. He struggled a lot to survive in small island. Almost he spent 28 years in a small island alone. No one is there, he is alone. And after that, Friday, some other people, the native cannibals means, the cannibal means one who eats human flesh. The cannibals, they come, they're trying to eat. This is the Robinson Crusoe, and Robinson Crusoe is a man who has guns and everything. He's a civilized person because of his civilization, and he treats other tribes also as a supreme of the other tribes. So the journey is a very adventurous journey. He started, and later Robinson Crusoe's adventures are based on experience of Scottish sailor Alexander Selkirk, who at his own request was left on desert island and survived 4 years of solitary existence until he was rescued by the Woods Roberts expedition. The latter published a book. So this is based on this Alexander Selkirk. So he Daniel Defoe wrote Robinson Crusoe. And realistic novel based on true story, minutes, details, names, dates, and physical settings, geographical place names, involvement of numbers and quantities, customs of middle class. Robinson keeps a journal. So he almost 28 years. So he writes journal in island, in small island, autobiographical narrative, diary, first person point of view. The story complete Robinson Crusoe is a first person point of view, and highly descriptive language, but simple, very simple language, highly descriptive. And Billings Roman novel. What is a Billings Roman means? It's a narration that traces the psychological and moral development of the character from childhood to adulthood. Billings Roman novel. There's a very important Billings Roman. Billings Romans means, and the character how he developed from childhood to adulthood. That is called Billings Roman novel. Initially, Robinson does not listen to his father's advice, but after he repents his original sin and mistakes. So initially when he wants to travel to England, London, his father suggested him, so don't travel, don't go there, and he can study law. But this is the Robinson Crusoe doesn't like his father's opinion, and then he started journey. So he started voyage, and because of his mistakes, he struggled a lot. Almost he has to spend 28 years in small island. He struggled a lot, and alone he stays in small island. So it is a buildings Roman novel. So main theme homoeconomics and individualism, realism, Puritan aspects, mercantilism, colonization, pursuit for money, and nature seen as an instrument to exploit. These are the main themes. Individualism, realism. So the novel may be considered as a spiritual autobiography. The religious references, shipwreck. Religious references means shipwreck. It is a sin. Crusoe alone on the island, man alone in the relationship with God. The major theme, religious references are major themes. Crusoe alone on the island, man alone in his relationship with God. So if you are alone, then we can maintain relationship with God. We can pray for God. So he has a Bible. So he reads Bible whenever he feels nervous, whenever he is distressed. So he reads Bible. So based on that, he can. What is the timings actually? Do you tell me what is the timings?
1 to 3, sir.
1 to 3, na? Huh?
No, sir, 2 to 3:30.
1:15 to 2 to 3:30, sir. 3:30, sir.
Different person telling different opinion. Actually, madam called me and said
1 to 2 lunch, sir. 2 to 3:30 class.
1:30 to 2:30, I think.
Yes, sir. 1:30.
The class is from 2 o'clock to 3:30.
Okay. Up to 3:30 I will take. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. The from sin to conversion of the soul, hard work may lead to the prosperous and reward. So he struggled a lot. Almost 28 years he struggled a lot in a small island, and because of hard work, prosperous reward. So if you work hard, then your life will be happy. So you have in this corona time, pandemic situation, if you study well only, you will get a marks. But people, if you are not study well, you cannot get a good marks. So that is a hard work may lead to a prosperous reward. Novel may be considered spiritual autobiography. Individualism, the main theme. During the 17th and 18th centuries, the term individual denotes the isolation from collectivity to reaches his or own needs and desires. The individual is the center of the universe. So if you are individual center of universe, the main character with resourcefulness and self-reliance can overcome troubles and misfortune. Suppose if you have a confidence on you, so if any kind of obstacles if you face, so your individuality, your confidence may lead your life happy journey. Take main character with his resourcefulness, self-reliance on who can overcome troubles and misfortune. Can you imagine a person who is almost 28 years in a small island, no one is there, no person is there. He is the only person who is taking care of himself, and at the same time he constructs his own house. He started the farming, and he cultivate the land, and he constructed the small boat. He built the small boat, and with the confidence, with the praying to the God. So every day he reads Bible, and almost natural disasters affect his life, and even though his self-reliance and self-confidence, so because of that he leads his life almost spent 28 years. And it is also represents the civilization. So nomadic people, even the people who are nomadic people, The first when they go to that place, they started cultivation of the lands. This is cultivating. He cultivates the land. Crusoe is a typical self-made man. The Augustan new man, the man who can develop economically thanks to the persistent work. So, Homo faber Homo economics. The Robinson Crusoe, an economic man who struggled to achieve maximum welfare and prosperity. Capitalism and colonialism. These are the two important terms. Capitalism and colonialism is a constant pursuit of profit and weak relationship with other people. Capitalism and colonialism. Colonialism means British rule. Suppose we got independence 1947. Before that year, we call it as a colonialism. Colonial period. Colonial period means our country which was run by British rule. That is called colonialism. Economics, Robinson Crusoe, an economic man who struggled to achieve maximum welfare and prosperity. And colonialism and imperialism. Robinson Crusoe is the true prototype of British colonialist, as Friday is a symbol of the subject races. James Joyce, famous writer, says that Robinson Crusoe is a true prototype of British colonialist, as if Friday is a symbol of the subject races. So Friday is a character, is a symbolic character, symbol of subject of race, because Friday belongs to African community. So even you see this image Robinson Crusoe and Friday is begging Friday, who is begging Robinson Crusoe, please provide him shelter. And I feel here is not comfortable because same land, actually Friday is a native people. Friday is a native people, even the native people. But this is the Robinson Crusoe is a imperialist and a colonialist, because he shows his supremacy to the people of who are there in the native land. Crusoe takes a complete dominion over the island after he is shipwrecked. He sees himself as a king and others as his subjects. So he is actually the first person when the ship is wrecked, and after the ship is wrecked, this is the man who comes to the island. In that island, he finds the cannibals. What is the meaning of cannibal? Cannibalism.
Who eats
One who eats human being.
One who eats human flesh. So even there are some cannibals are there, some native peoples are there, but this is the man only alone. He has guns. He gets the guns and ammunition from the shipwrecked. Whenever he is going to London by ship, the same ship is wrecked and broken. From that ship, he collects some guns, ammunition, gunpowder, and he collects from the ship, and he preserved some secret place. Because of the ammunition, because of his civilization, so he ruled those native people, the nomadic people who are there in that region. Actually, Friday is African, so he belongs to the nomadic community, and that person is begging Robinson Crusoe. So it is clearly shows that imperialism means dominance, the British rule. Britishers are imperials. The colonial period means British rule. Actually, the Britishers, they come to India to establish their religion, but later they impose their religion, their culture, their tradition. They impose their law on us. So Crusoe takes complete dominion over the island after he is shipwrecked. And next, when you see the next, the transatlantic slave trade. From 16th century, African slaves are captured and transported across the ocean to the colonies in North and South America. There they are forced to work on coffee, sugar, and cotton plantation. So when you see the 16th and 17th century, but our Daniel Defoe wrote in which century? Which century? Huh?
18th century.
18th century. We are discussing 18th century literature. Okay, 18th century. In the 18th century, almost African slaves are captured and transported across the ocean to the colonies. To the colonies means the slaves who live in that place, North and South America. They are forced to work on coffee, sugar, cotton plantation. Crusoe himself deports slave from the Guyana and makes Friday his servant on the island. So even though Crusoe also and captured by the Africans, and he works as a slave in some days, and with the support of Zuri and with support of Moore, who escape from that place, and it travels to Africa and Brazil. There he started the cultivation almost 4 years. After the 4 years, again he travels to the Africa, and so when he travels to the Africa, his ship is wrecked and broken. Crusoe himself deports slaves from Guyana and make Friday his servant on the island. Higher being Master Robinson, and lesser being slave Friday, and superiority of white man. There is a superiority of white man. White people always, they show that they are superior than African people, they are superior than brown people. So next, triangular trade, Europe of Africa, America. These are the triangular. So how European people, they travel to Africa and North America. So they travel and they establish the colonialism, they establish the imperialism. Next, Crusoe as William Shakespeare's Prospero. The Tempest is a play in which Prospero, rightful Duke of Milan, is marooned with his daughter Mirinda on his island because of conspiracy. He can seen as a colonialist that exactly as Robinson creates his own Ethiopian reign and enslaves a Caliban, the savage who inhabits the isle. So this is also, you see the Robinson Crusoe also considered as a William Shakespeare's Prospero. The Tempest drama is there. I think you have a Tempest in your
Yes, sir.
Tempest?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Tempest also, in Tempest Prospero. So they also travel to island, and their ship also, it's broken. And the same kind of similar atmosphere, similar kind of story also you can see here in Robinson Crusoe. And mercantilism, the English mercantilism spirits began during the Elizabethan age, when England realized that trade generated wealth. By the end of 17th century, Britain had become the most important trading nation in Europe. So our India also, because of they started to establish the business purpose, they came, and later our India was occupied by the Britishers. And island place for Robinson to prove his qualities. Robinson organized a primitive empire not written to nature, but a chance to exploit and dominate nature. So island, it's a symbolic element, place for Robinson to prove his qualities, because he is alone in an island, but everywhere no hope, nothing is there. Individual and society. The society Robinson creates on island is not an alternative to, but an exaltation of 18th century England, the ideal of mobility, material productiveness, and individualism. So these are all important themes. Though God is the prime because of everything, the individual can shape his destiny through action. Society Robinson creates an island is not an alternative. The style. Wait, I will. Okay. Now, see the. This is a rising action. The rising action. Robinson Crusoe leaves his home against his parents' advice. The parents' advice, against his parents' advice, he leaves. Marcoon pirates take Crusoe into slavery. So Africans, the pirates, they captured the ship, and here Crusoe, Robinson Crusoe, who becomes as a slave. Crusoe escapes slavery and travels to the Brazil. Then he escapes along with whom? Along with whom he escapes?
Jury.
Zuri. No. Zuri. Crusoe escapes slavery and travels to Brazil. Escapes with Zuri because so later ship wreck stands and Crusoe on an island. Later, so after the Brazil, again the ship is wrecked and stands Crusoe on island. Crusoe lives alone on island 23 years. Crusoe rescues captive whom he names Friday. So there Crusoe rescues a captive. A captive means who is tied with a rope and who is a slave. Crusoe rescues slaves. He names Friday. And Crusoe helps the English captain who takes him to England. The climax. The Crusoe helps an English captain who takes him to England. Crusoe learns that he has made fortune from his plantation. So because of the plantation, next see once again I'm repeating stories summary. In the north of this is the actually Robinson Crusoe's father who migrated from Germany, and these are the family. They live in a York, York, in the city of north of England. In the north of England, they live, and this is the family. This Robinson Crusoe family. They are middle class, comfortable middle class family, and aspiring middle class state. This the Crusoe disregard his father's advice, and he joins a sea voyage to London. There he travels, and after that Crusoe survives seasickness. Later, captain and crew include Crusoe barely escape with their lives. Crusoe proceeds to London, where he signs up for another voyage, this time Africa, and successful voyage. So later, enlisting help of fellow slave boy named Zuri, Crusoe escapes with his master, send them out fishing trip. So Crusoe says that Crusoe convincing this Moor, so we are just going to fishing. We are going to fishing, and later they escape from that place. Zuri and Robinson Crusoe they start traveling to Africa. Later, West African coast. They reach West African coast. They encounter wild animals, native tribes, both frighten and fascinate them. Near Cape Verde, a Portuguese ship rescue them, and captain agrees to take them with the Brazil. So Zuri and Robinson Crusoe, they started to going to Brazil and West Africa. They reach the West Africa. They encounter wild animals and native tribes and wild they encounter, and later spend the next 4 years near Cape Verde. Portuguese ship rescue them. The captain agrees to take them with the Brazil. So captain agrees. This is the line. Captain agrees them, take to them Brazil. Once Brazil, Portuguese captain buys Crusoe boat, offered to buy Zuri as well. And later Portuguese captain saying when buying Crusoe boat. Crusoe has also boat. The boat who escapes from the Moor, who escapes from the Africans. They have a boat. That boat. So Portuguese captain who buys that boat and offers to buy. So he requesting his offers. He wants to buy the Zuri. And actually Zuri is a very good friend, loyal servant to Robinson Crusoe. Zuri is a loyal servant to Robinson Crusoe. And Portuguese captain asking, he offers him, if you give your Zuri, your servant, I will give you money. Then without interest, Crusoe agrees to the captain offer on the condition that he captain will free Zuri in 10 years if he becomes Christian. So captain agrees that okay, if he becomes as a Christian, then I will free him in 10 years. 10 years Zuri becomes as a slave to the Portuguese captain. And Crusoe uses his money to buy a small plantation. So in that Portuguese in Brazil, he buys a small plantation. Almost he spends next 4 years there before sailing back to Africa to buy slaves to expand his own plantation, those of his neighbors. So he buy his slave Zuri, and he also sells his Zuri to the Portuguese captain. He sells his boat, Portuguese captain. He takes some money, and that money he buys some plantation and spend next 4 years there, being a sailing back to Africa to buy slaves. So next, what purpose actually he wants to travel from Brazil to Africa he wants to buy the slaves. He wants to buy slaves to expand his own plantation, those of his neighbors. So he wants to expand his plantation because there is a crop. In Brazil, he started the farming the land. Then he's getting a good amount of money. That's why he doesn't want to go to any other voyage, but he wants to go Africa only to buy the slaves. When he travels to Africa, his ship is completely wrecked and he has to go to island. He reached the Caribbean island. Robinson Crusoe, there he has a dog, 2 cats survive. Crusoe finds himself on island where he will live for next 28 years. During his year on island, Crusoe lives out the progress of human history. There is he makes his own tools. After the ship is wrecked, he began sleeping in a tree, then moves into the cave, the enlarges, fortifies, expand. He makes his own tools, builds fortune, makes his own clothes, and plants corn and rice, domesticates wild goats. During his explorations, he discovers a valley with a fruit trees, builds a second settlement there. For the bulk of his time on island, Crusoe's only companion is a pets, dogs, cats, later goats, and a few domesticated parrots. So he almost 28 years in a small island with the accompaniment of dog, cats, and a goat, and few domesticated parrot. Parrot also there is a parrot in a small island, and there is a friendship with the parrot. He teaches parrot how to talk, explains parrot how to talk and how to communicate. Early in his stay in island, Crusoe terribly sick, almost die. Early in his stay island, so if you are alone in a small island, everybody will be sick. So even 28 years in a small island, it is not a joke. So it is a horrible situation. He struggles to survive in a small island. He has got so many problems, so many difficulties. At the same time, he managed the things in a well-mannered. During his fever, he dreams that God intends to kill him. Frightening vision that spur in his religious conversation that. So he almost 1 month, is unable to stay there, and when he becomes sick, terribly sick, almost dies. So he thinks that definitely he would die, but fortunately he survives. He believes that he did wrong by disobeying his father's wishes, that is suffering of his past and confinement on the island are good punishment. So he thinks that because of I did not listen to my father, that maybe this is my punishment. At the same time, 1 minute, I got a call.
Sir, we are not able to hear you, sir.
Sir got a call, so it take 1 minute time.
Okay.
I got a call.
No problem,
Okay, sir. Okay.
He believes he's because of terribly sick, almost dies. So he thinks that God intends to kill him, but because he did not listen to his father always suggested him stay here only and study law, but without listening to his father. So he travels because he likes voyage. And after when he reaches Brazil, so Brazil, but Brazil, the purpose of the visit of Brazil, he started the plantation, the crop sugarcane plantation. He cultivates the lands. That is, the profits are nice. So he wants to explore the plantation, and he wanted to explore. Anyone wants to join? Right. He wants to explore plantation. That purpose, he wants to go to Africa to buy slaves, African slaves. So white people, even if you read African American literature also, we have so many white people, they are trying to buy slaves from Africa. This is the purpose. Actually, he wants to buy slaves in Africa. That purpose he goes to. He wants to go Africa, but unfortunately, his ship is broken. His ship is wrecked, and this is a small island he has to reach. So he reached a small island, and in that first days is terribly sick, almost dies. And he believes he did wrong, disobeying his father's wishes, that suffering of his past and his confinement on island are God's punishment. He thinks that it is a God's punishment because I did not listen to my father. I did a mistake. That's why definitely I would die here. So later he is recovered from his illness. More than half his time on island, Crusoe encounters none other humans, but he changes when he stops a footprint in island in the sand. So after some days, so he spent almost 13 and 14 years in a small island. So initially he find the first human footprint in the sand. So the mystery of the footprint and the fear of being discovered by the natives, whom he believes are cannibals, occupy his thoughts. So first time he finds a footprint in another person's footprint in small island. So he always thinks that in a small island he is the king of the island. Even he has a dog, he has cats, he has a wild goats, he has a parrot. So he constructing his own house. He stitching his own clothes. He does not see natives until 23rd year when he stops them around a fire. He was to fear or confined when he finds human among the ashes they leave behind. A year later, Crusoe encountered more natives with the prisoners they plan to kill and eat. So almost 23 years he spends his life very happy in small island. After 23 years, then first time he finds a foot print in a sand. Then he thinks that definitely native people are there. These people, they come and kill me, they come and eat me, because he thinks that they are the cannibals. So before, initially he's happy with his animals, he's happy with the birds, he's happy with the beautiful nature. So he started the cultivating the land and he established all the things. So he does not see the native land, and he worst fears are confirmed when he finds human remaining among the ashes they leave behind. A year later, Crusoe encountered more natives with the prisoners they plan to kill and eat. Crusoe helps one of the prisoners escape. He names him Friday. So Crusoe helps one of the prisoners escape. Native people, so they catch one African person. So African person, they treat him as his slave, as their slave. His name him Friday. So the slave name, the prisoner name. So he gives a name. The name is Friday, and teaches him English and Christianity. So this is the man, Robinson Crusoe. He teaches him how to speak English and what is the importance of the Christianity. He explains everything to Friday. The next year, Crusoe and Friday rescue two more prisoners: the Spanish sailor and Friday's father. The next year, so almost Friday and Crusoe, they spent 1 year in the small island. In that island, he gives the name Friday and he teaches English and Christianity. Next year, Crusoe and Friday rescue two more prisoners: the Spanish sailor and Friday's father. One of the prisoners is Friday's father. The sailor is a part of Spanish crew whose ship was wrecked and whose reside alongside Friday's tribe on large island nearby. Spaniard and Crusoe devise a plan to bring the rest of the Spaniard to the island and from there escape back to the civilizations. So later, after these are the day by day people are increasing. There are some prisoners are there. Those prisoners, even with the support of Friday, with the support of the Spaniard and Crusoe, who saves the prisoners from the native people. And he becomes day by day supreme. He becomes more powerful because of the prisoners, because he is a civilized person. He started. So the major theme, Robinson Crusoe is a symbolic icon of civilization. After Crusoe, more than half his time on island, Crusoe encounter no other. So a year later, Crusoe encounter more natives with the prisoners. And later, after Crusoe sends Spaniard and Friday father back to the mainland for the others, and an English ship appears. The crew brings 3 prisoners to the island, whom Crusoe and Friday rescue. And on the ship's captain, who explains he has been victim of mutiny, Crusoe Friday helps overthrow mutiny. The captain agrees to take them back to England. Some of the English mutineers are left behind on the island. So luckily, Crusoe finds an English ship. Back in England, Crusoe learns that his father has died and his own fortune are dismissed. So later, back in England, he comes to England and he finds that his father is died. A visit to Lisbon reunites him with a Portuguese captain who informs him that his plantation in Brazil has been very prosperous. So already he started the cultivation, he started plantation in Brazil. That plantation program, the plantation is becomes very prosperous, becomes very successful. Crusoe sells the plantation, becomes wealthy man, and he settles in England for several years, long enough to marry and have children. But he eventually returns to Ireland, where he finds a Spanish sailor, English mutineers, and some of the natives have established a colony. He ends the further adventure during the voyage back to the East Indies and promised to detail them in the another story. So this is all about rising and climax, rising story. So he, even though you can see the symbol, the gun is a symbols, and the tools are the symbol, and the boards, calendar post. These are all symbols in Robinson Crusoe. The gun represents power over the island and other people. So he spends his first night on island sleeping in a tree for fear of ravenous beasts. He supposed he might roam the land. Later, so gun is a symbolic element of power over island. The gun symbol and the tools. And the tools were invented by Robinson Crusoe. Tools represent progress, Crusoe's ability to shape his world on island. After clothing himself, after his swim to the wreck, Crusoe's first objective was to find tools to help the survive on the island. He found carpenter chest, which was more valuable than ship load of gold would have been. Other tools he makes, and they became badge of self-sufficient on the island. And boats are there. Boat is also symbol. Calendar post because he prepares himself calendar post. So he wants to know how many years he spent in small island. Boat, ship and small boats are vehicle for progress to better place and escape from the peril. They also represent freedom course. Crusoe, freedom from his family, freedom from his confinement in slavery on the island. And the themes, major themes of these are very important. In exam, they won't ask you your summary of the lesson. They won't ask you. Please, if you have a white paper, write down the major themes. Self-reliance is a major theme. Self-reliance means Robinson Crusoe believes himself. Even it is an adventurous story, adventurous journey. He has so many difficulties. At the same time, he survives because of self-confidence, self-reliance. That is an important theme of this Robinson Crusoe. Civilization is another thing, another important thing. Civilization, because when he comes to Brazil, in the Brazil also he started plantation. In the plantation, because of the plantation, he becomes very rich man. And after coming so many years also, the plantation becomes successful. And civilization, when he reaches to island also, in island also he started civilization. Like most of the people, they are nomadic people, primitive people. They are not civilized people. This is the man, Robinson Crusoe. He is a very civilized person. He started farming the land, and he protects himself from the nomadic people. This is the civilization. Progress. Christianity is also very important theme in this novel, because Christianity, he always reads Bible, he pray to God, and he takes that, he reads the Bible whenever he feels nervous. He reads Bible. After reading the Bible, he gets confidence, and he thinks that because I did not listen to my father, that's why it is a confinement to me. It is maybe it's in a execution. I maybe die here because of the God's punishment. So Christianity also plays important role in Robinson Crusoe. Crusoe says the quotation, "And where, sir, is your belief of my being preserved here on purpose to save your life?" There's a quotation, is a chapter 18. The once again I'm repeating. Crusoe asks, "And where, sir, is your belief of my being preserved here on purpose to save of your life?" So this is Friday. Friday also it's a Christian name. It has taken from the Bible. Friday. That is the Christianity is a major theme. Nature is an important theme of Robinson Crusoe. And this is all. Crusoe slip onto sand near the island. Crusoe alone, all men on the ship on the shore of island. So this is all about themes. Okay. How many years he is in Brazil? Huh?
28 years, sir.
28 years.
How many years he was in Brazil? Brazil.
28 years.
Brazil, I am asking 4 years. Brazil.
4 years.
4 years.
3 to 4 years.
No. 4 years. 4 years. First, Robinson Crusoe, he wants to travel to England, London. Then he wants to travel to Brazil. So in that Brazil, he started plantation, sugarcane plantation. So after that plantation, sugarcane plantation becomes successful, and he gets profit from that. So that is a civilization. Then he wants to go to Africa to buy slaves, in Africa. And when he travels to Africa to buy slaves, the ship is broken. The ship is wrecked. And chapter 4, in first 13 days on island, is it visible? Is it visible?
Yes,
Huh?
sir.
Yes, sir.
And in first 13 days of island, he takes total of 11 trips back to the ship, salvaging anything he can carry before another storm comes in, washes the wreck away. The ship wreck, and the ship is almost 2-3 miles away. 2-3 miles away, the ship, broken ship is there. So after 13 days in island, he makes total 11 trips back to the ship. He goes to the ship 11 trips. What purpose he goes? He takes the more tools, nails, clothing, hatchet, grindstone, sails, rigging, hammock, cables, money, and many other items. He brings ashore a dog, 2 cats who survived in the wreck. So almost in a 13 days, 11 trips he takes to the ship, almost 2-3 miles distant. The ship is wrecked. It's going down or maybe washing away. So he takes whatever the clothes he wants. So that's why tools. The tools he required the tools. He goes there, and later, chapter 5, I'll show you. Chapter 5. So he started the journey September 30, 1659. What is the timing? Hello? Hello?
September 30, 1659.
September 30, 1659, the day of his landing. So almost 28 years. 28 years he is in that island. Domestic pigeons. So later he lames a goat. He attempts to domesticate pigeons all as well as lack of extra food is problematic. So because lack of extra food, because food is not there, then there is a problematic to survive in a small island. I think I taught this is the Robinson Crusoe in your last class. I think it's the same students, huh? I think I taught Robinson. Sir, no? Your new batch, huh? Old batch, huh?
New batch, sir.
New, huh? This is our first class. You did not attend offline classes?
Yes, sir. We have offline classes. We have four offline classes.
4 offline classes. I taught Robinson Crusoe.
No, sir. You taught waiting for Godot.
Waiting for Godot you have taught, sir.
Yeah, waiting for
Yes,
Godot.
sir, you taught paper 5, Waiting for Godot, Sons and Lovers, and you just started The Heart of Darkness.
So when I started the Art of Darkness and everything becomes darker.
No, sir.
Yes. COVID-19.
When I started Art of Darkness and when I started Art of Darkness and everything becomes dark.
Really, it became dark, sir. The way you explain, no one explains like the way how you explain.
Oh, thank you.
Now it became bright, sir.
Okay, thank you. But madam suddenly she called me and she requests and asked me to take the class. But even though I did not see once, I have to see 2-3 times because if I see, I'm confusing. I'm not myself. I'm not happy this class because I have to morning only. Actually, tomorrow I have a class. So tomorrow I have a class. I think that tomorrow 3:30 I will take once. I'll see and I'll see once again. Recollect. Today I'm not happy. Really, I'm saying. I'm not happy.
But we are happy, sir. You took the class
Yes,
for
sir,
us.
we are very happy.
Because it is very difficult for us to understand paper 2 and paper 4, sir. It would be better if you only take all the classes.
There are all senior faculty members are there. Okay. So actually today I have to see once again. I have to recollect. I have to revise once again. Then I feel very happy because today I'm a little bit tense, a little bit nervous. I don't know what. I have to see once again because suddenly I have a class. Okay. Anyhow, next novel is there. Gulliver's Travel is there, and one more novel I am taking, that is Joseph Andrews. That is also I am going to take. Then I will explain very, very clearly. Don't worry. I will explain very, very clearly.
Thank you so much, sir.
Joseph Andrews.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Joseph Andrews, I'll teach very, very perfect Joseph Andrews and Gulliver's Travel, 2 novels. And we have 10 minutes time. In just 10 minutes time, I will send you material also. Don't worry. I will send you material.
Oh, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
That will be helpful to us, sir.
Definitely, I will send you material. Okay, if you anyone. This is a PPT also. I'll explain. I'll send it to you. Okay. So this is the chapter. I'll tell you very brief about Robinson Crusoe. Robinson Crusoe, without listening to his father's opinion, father's suggestions, so his main passion, he wants to travel voyage. He likes voyage. Without listening to his father, he started his journey and voyage, and later he reaches London. From London to Brazil, and in Brazil also he started plantation. From the Brazil, he wants to go to Africa to buy slaves, and after that, when he was captured by before that he was captured by the African. Later African, after the his ship is broken, ship is wrecked. Almost 28 years he has to spend in small island, and he struggled to survive in island. And later he comes to England. So in England again he gets married. So later he leads his life happily. This is only brief summary about Robinson Crusoe. And next class I will explain Joseph Andrews and Gulliver's Travels. These are the two important, very important, these two lessons. Gulliver's Travels very important. Even Gulliver's Travels, if you are preparing for any exams like government teachers who are preparing for after completion of your B.Ed, MA English, suppose if you are preparing for government teachers, they ask Gulliver's Travels lesson. That is very important lesson. Gulliver's Travel also, movie also is there. If you have a time, see the Gulliver's Travels movie also.
Okay, sir.
I will show you Gulliver's Travel movie is there, I think. Is it visible?
Sir, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Gulliver's Travels movie also is there. See the movie. You need to go movie.
Okay, sir.
This is the movie, Gulliver's Travel. Okay. This is the animation movie, 1939. And this is also movie is there. Voice is visible, huh? Voice వస్తుందా?
No, sir. No, sir.
Not audible, sir.
No, sir.
Voice is not audible.
Okay. So this is the Gulliver's Travel. This is a trailer.
Only for 3 minutes.
It is a trailer. It's a trailer.
Okay, right.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll
Yes. All of you see the Gulliver's Travels movie.
Sir, we have this Gulliver's Travel in 7th or 8th class, I think, sir.
In 7th
But,
class we had, sir.
Yes, sir. That
Seventh-
time also we read it.
class, sir.
Last hour class, if I teach, you forget everything. 1 hour back, whatever I teach, you forget. And will you remember 7th class lesson? After 1 hour, the same lesson, if I ask you, sorry, sir, I forget everything.
No.
I think we remember.
Okay.
No, sir. By that time, our brains are not polluted. That's the reason. We can remember anything.
Now polluted, huh?
No, no.
Yes, totally.
Okay. Okay. Okay, if possible, this is next class. I think. What is your next class? 2:30, na? Time is over.
3:30. Sir, 3 minutes left.
Okay, okay. Nice meeting you. I am very happy to meet you, all of you.
Even we are happy.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Me too, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
76 members. Oh, very good. Okay, next class I have on fourth and fifth. I have 2 classes. Date
Okay,
fourth and fifth. I will take Gulliver's Travels, and next I'll teach you Joseph Andrews. Those 2 lessons I'll complete fourth and fifth. Somebody they're asking questions in message box. Okay. Oh, thank you all. Thank you very much. We are ready. We are really good to see you. Sham. Okay, Sai, Kumari. When will you win? I don't know. Exams. This is my first class, sir. Arts and crafts. This is your first class, huh? Arts and crafts. Hello? Somebody messaged first class, maybe last class also. Thank you all, one and all. So have a nice day.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, listen to the.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, next class I'll teach you. I missed to call all classes. Okay. I'll send you material. Don't worry, and I'll send you the lesson. This Robinson Crusoe material. I'll send it to you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Send me any one person's mail, and I'll send it to you. Then you have WhatsApp group, I think.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are having. Yes, we have, sir.
One person, please send a mail. Only one person. I don't send to each and everybody. Okay. This is the mail ID. I'll send it to Zebashana. Hello?
Zeba Jashan.
Jeva Jashan. I'll send materials to you. This is a Robinson Crusoe material to you. Please forward this material in WhatsApp group, and everyone can read it. Okay? Bye. See you, all of you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you
Good
so much.
afternoon, sir.
Any more classes is there? No?
Guys, now which class we are having?
Next.
Yeah, nothing.